I remember being like, this was during COVID, I think, so I was probably 17, and I would really often take my car, or I think it was my mom's, no, it was my car. I would take my car, and I would drive out to some parking lot, and I would sing. I would sing in the parking lot. I would also take my therapy sessions in the parking lot as well. I had a lot of freedom in my car in the parking lot. And that's where I first learned to, and not that where I first learned to sing, but that's where a lot of my singing would take place. And I remember I took this one video of myself, and I just thought I sounded so good. And I'm sure I sounded good. I can find the video on my phone somewhere if I wanted to. I thought I sounded so good. But I looked not, like, my instinct right now is to say I looked fugly in the video, but I didn't have any makeup on. My hair was the way it is now, which is unstyled, unwashed. I was wearing just a regular t-shirt. But, and so in the moment, I sent it to one of my friends at the time, and I was like, or no, I posted it. I had a spam that had like 3 of my friends on it. And so I basically I sent it to them, and I was like, should I post this? And my friend was like, no, don't post it. With the idea being like, that would be shameful, a shameful and kind of embarrassing thing to post. And, since then I have learned a lot about looking better and about shame, I guess, and the role that shame plays in femininity. I'm reading The Bell Jar right now, on that note. But yeah, I mean, I think definitely I look better than I used to. Or I don't know. Not right now. I feel like I haven't been taking care of my appearance lately, but I should say, like, generally, as a young adult, I became more attractive than I was as a younger teenager, right? And so that was a learned process. And that's why I think I might be autistic, but we'll get to that another time. But, like, the idea of just, like, being an ugly girl on the internet, that's what I was thinking. That was my title for this video. I was thinking was on being ugly on the internet. And, like, ugliness not even being, and I'm not being self-deprecating here. This isn't like I'm so ugly. Like, it's just the idea of, like, when you're in your natural state as a woman, you're ugly, right? I feel ugly, and I'm doing these micro expressions to not look as ugly. I'm making sure that my chin is tucked so that you can't see my double chin. I'm making sure that my hair is, even though it's dirty and messy, that it's, looks somewhat presentable. I have, these piercings and these glasses that, like, there's just no escape from the male gaze. I remember when I was a kid, when I was like 6, I would picture, I'm looking at the corner of my room right now, I would picture all the boys in my class behind a camera in the top corner of my room by the ceiling, just all laughing at me. What the fuck? What the fuck? And, it comes from this real want and desire to just be loved, I get very lonely. And, you kind of, it's impressed upon us that the more beautiful we are, that's the only way we can escape that feeling of loneliness is through our beauty. And so therefore that makes the loneliness our fault and our responsibility. And so it's the idea that if you're sad, lonely girl, it's your fault. because if you just lost a few more pounds, or you know, did your hair a certain way, and it's disguised as self-care, right? If you just took care of yourself, then you would be deserving of human connection. You would be deserving of love and oxytocin and all those things. And that's why I think I like loser girl fiction so much, just because it's such a jump in the opposite. It's just such a jump in the opposite direction of, like, what if a girl was bad and dirty and like all those little thoughts that we as women have to push down just because it's trained in us to push those thoughts down. What if we wrote a whole book about it? You know what I mean? And then you read that and then you're like, yeah, I had that thought too once. You know, it's just, and that's why I love horror movies. I love, like, perverse media. I love just weird things. Not because I think that's the way that things should be, but I think it just sheds a light on a part of human nature that's so just repressed and interesting. You know. So I don't know. No. Hi. I don't know. I saw a guy twice today on the subway. I saw a guy. Am I upside down? Yeah. I saw a guy on the subway today who was wearing a shirt. I saw him twice, on my way to work and on my way back from work. And his shirt said, "I'm not shy, I just don't fucking like you." Something to be considered. I've had a lot of crushes not go my way. I have a crush right now that's not going my way, and it makes me sad. Who could relate? Ooh, I'm gonna wake up my roommate. Oh, I can't. I don't want to put my feet on the internet. I know my friend. I don't want to dox any of my friends. I know my one friend found this channel, so hi. I don't know. I hope I get a family one day. I have this, like, idea of a future that exists in my head, and it's like, if I just keep putting in all this suffering and all this sadness, that future will come to fruition. But I'm kind of coming to learn that all that suffering does is beget more suffering. So I don't know when I'm gonna get my house and my, you know, love and my warm dim lights. Although I guess I already have them in a way. It's kind of nice and warm and dim in here, but I'd like it if there was another person with me. Although I hear my roommate in the kitchen. I hear several people in the kitchen. I'm gonna go see what's going on in the kitchen.